I prefer all cash. Look, laughing at the crib cause I done turned into a bank. Probably turned into a mogul before I turned into a saint. Was just a man on his grind, then I turned it into great. Turn my struggle into hustle and you know I'm getting paid. Let's go.
Yo, what's happening? It's another episode of Prior Bank Society Podcast. I am Iggy, and alongside me is
Nick. What it do, baby?
Yep, as y'all can notice, we are missing our good friend, our brother, Dr. Jake. And because he left with things to do, we not gonna hate him, but we absolutely gonna chastise him. Dr. Jake, you not here. We miss you. We holding the show down by ourselves, and that's that. I hope you watch. What we got, Mogul?
All right, we're gonna start with our word of the day. Our word of the day is nexus. 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 A nexus is a relationship or a connection between people or things. Here's a way to see nexus in a word, not word, because it is a word, in a sentence. Her final research paper for her pedagogy class highlighted the nexus between teachers and students.
I'm laughing because Mogul, you pick the hardest sentences every time.
Every time.
I got a sentence. The internet is. Hang on, wait. I had a sentence. Where'd it go? Okay, the internet is a nexus of information.
The Private Banker Society contains a nexus of information to help people advance to that next level of business and life.
Oh, yes, sir.
You dig?
I like it.
So, I'm a little blurry, but I'm not blurry now because it's auto-focused on me because I look nice. Anyway.
It's the teeth.
So, typically right now, we would do a commercial, but the person whose commercial it is not here, so I'm going to take his spot for a second. So, if you weren't on the 2-day boot camp, CEO boot camp that we just had last week, you missed out. I'm sorry, not really, because it was free and it was 20 hours for 2 days, where you got to understand the trueness of being a CEO and what it really means and the realness of being a CEO. Not what these gurus and gurus online tell you, but what an actual CEO had to say and has to say. If you are interested in becoming a CEO and understanding the trueness of being a CEO, make sure you follow us not only on Jake's page at Jake Tayler Jacobs on Instagram and all of his other pages, but follow us on Bizco Capital as well, where we have updates on the next class that you do not want to miss. Again, it's 20 hours, 2 days, free. Really easy.
And not only that, but there are only a select few spots available for this training. And the truth is, no matter how many people register, there's only a certain amount of people that's going to be allowed to get on. And it's 2 days, and the only people who get the link for day 2 is those who make it to the end of day 1. So this is a free training, but we still make y'all commit for the free training, because there's no point in giving you a free training that you're not committed to. So make sure that you go ahead and go to bizcocapital.co/CEO and go ahead and register. I'm not sure how many slots are available right now or at the time of you seeing this and going, or if there's any spots available at all. But bizcocapital.co/CEO. You can go look at the page. There are over a dozen testimonials on the page of the experience that those who participated in the last 2-day boot camp with Dr. Jake experience. You can hear it from their mouth and how that our trainings, our free trainings, are literally better than your favorite online guru's paid program. And that's just the facts of it. But don't take our word for it. Go to bizcocapital.co/CEO and listen to the testimonials yourself. Get your spot locked in and be ready. September 9th and 10th.
Let's go.
Nice. So we're going to go into our hot topic of the day. Our first hot topic and only hot topic of the day is the fact that Google Domains was purchased by Squarespace for $180 million.
Ooh. Just Google Domains.
Just Google Domains. The portion of Google that is usually for their website hosting and names and whatnot was purchased by Squarespace, which is a website builder. If you don't know what it is, cool. I'm not really going to go too deep into them. But they purchased Google domains. Now that makes them one of the largest domain registrars behind GoDaddy, Namecheap, and Two Cows. Y'all heard of Two Cows?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've never heard Two Cows.
I have never heard of Namecheap.
I have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
Namecheap is actually one of the more popular ones.
Really?
Probably just from GoDaddy and Google domains and maybe Bluehost or something like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
GoDaddy. I've heard of Two Cows, but I use Google domains mostly.
Yeah, Google domains probably where I really like to be at.
Yeah.
So when Mogul told me earlier that Squarespace had made an acquisition of Google domains, I didn't feel too good about it, considering that I don't really care too much about Squarespace. One, because we got backend.io. Two, just because they ain't never just showed me no love for real like that, based on the functionality of sites. Me being somebody that builds sites, builds funnel, has engaged with dozens of platforms from building, they just didn't feed me the way I need to be felt and be able to take care of what I need to take care of from a business site and funnel aspect. So
it's given the basics only.
What
Click and drop. Drag
what
and
she
drop.
say? Charlie say it's giving ghetto.
So I really wanted to go in and talk about when it might be actually time to sell or liquidate a piece of your company, because Google's still Google. At the end of the day, it has Google Sheets and all that stuff. It has all these other applications that are we now see that can be considered different businesses, because I didn't know Google Domains was a different part of Google that it was.
Yeah, that's a good point. And this is something that after we did the incubator, I'm not the incubator, but the mini micro accelerator with Amazon and Coca-Cola in Atlanta. And then when we were on talking about our partnership moving forward, we learned that Amazon, that each of their products is actually a different company. Yeah. And when we look at business structure and organizing the business, it makes sense because that minimizes liability on the whole company. So if there's an issue with Google Domains, then Google Domains has its protection based off liability and based off the structure of that company. And then its parent company will be Google, and then they have a holdings company or whatever that being. But each product, so Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Documents, Gmail, YouTube, all are different products and all are different businesses inside of that umbrella. And so that protects from liability, that protects and allows them to scale, allows them to allocate budgeting differently, taxes, a bunch of different benefits to do that. But as you grow larger in business, and as your company gets larger, you'll understand the need to have things structured in that manner, the same way these larger companies do. Now you may I'm just starting my business, I got a book product, and I do this service. Do they need to be different businesses? Starting out, no, but as you look to scale, there's a point when you understand that this product can sustain by itself as a business. Then at that point, structuring it or restructuring your business to allocate liability and protection specifically towards that product and establish it as a company probably will make more sense down the road. But this is stuff that we teach inside of our accelerator.
I am wondering, because it says currently that they are planning on keeping the business how it is, or Google Domains how it is. They're not trying to change much or rebrand it. But at some point, I feel like they're going to want to rebrand it. Are the people that have a Google domain, like we have, we have a lot as Bizco, because Jake is a domain collector. I've never met somebody that has that many domains, but those people that made emails based off those domains, will they end up having to change to be at Squarespace, or are they going to do emails, or how are they going to build this out? Because it is currently, I know we have my email, Amir at the Bizco firm, right? Mm-hmm. That's still a Google domain at the end of the day. Will that be Amir at the Bizco firm / Squarespace /
No. So with the acquisition of companies, in most cases, they want to keep things as they are because that's what produced the results and the reason why they acquired it. That just gives them more assets to that. But if they did that, that would like literally shift and cause a lot of disruption and turmoil in people's businesses, because if the people that had your email, if it changed to something else, then the people who are currently connected with you or sending you emails or the list that you subscribe to would no longer be able to reach you, and that would cause a lot of problems. If my email is connected to my autoresponder on emails and I got 50, 60, 100,000 persons on my email list, and that's the email that they are used to receiving from, one, from a user standpoint, they were like, nah. Then two, from just the email providers receiving those emails, they would probably push those emails to spam, even if the DNS settings of the email autoresponder still were proper. But I would think it would be completely foolish, and I don't see that happening at all. They're making any changes to the actual domains. It's just the ownership, no different than like when apartment complex changed management. There's a couple things as far as the inner workings that change, but as far as the address of that apartment stays the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why rebrand it when the Google brand, like, I would just leave it.
Yeah.
You know?
You only see stuff like that when you're dealing with like Elon.
Right. You see how they changed the logo so quick to Twitter.
Do you, first of all,
Boy.
do you know what that logo is? I don't mean to step sideways on you, Monkey, but do you know what that logo is?
No, tell me.
I'm finna
Riddle me.
So
Help me understand.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you, cause
Oh no, are we doing
the X in that side.
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing.
Wait, go back to the other one.
It's the same, that X.
Oh.
So it's the
It's secret exclusive information.
the what do you call the thing that you draw the circles with, and then they got the
Compass.
ruler, compass, and then the ruler makes a sign with the G in the middle. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Mason sign. It's literally like the X on, let's see what side it is. The big one's going that way.
Wow.
It's the X on the left side of the Mason. So if y'all can see that the X.
Put it over your face. Let's see if it. Yeah.
Wow. So the X.
Oh, who you texting? Your ex? Eh.
So the X right here is the same. It's the exact same symbol as the new Twitter sign or the new X. I don't even think it's called Twitter. It's just called X.
Yeah. Like what?
Elon.
What in the acquisition just took place?
See, but Elon, because of whatever plan he has, he's the exception. He's not the rule. So in typical acquisitions, there is potential rebranding, renaming of the business per se or the brand. But when it comes to functionality of the brand, I don't know if like the links will change. We'll see. Because that would be interesting to see what like all the links that are like shared to Google and shared to the different platforms with Twitter videos from the link. If the domain changes, then unless they got a system that like automatically forwards to the same, it's gonna be interesting to see what those backlinks do. But you know, that's Elon.
Mm-hmm.
So when I looked a little more into it, they're saying Google domains because domain hosting and like being a registrar isn't really a
Same domain. Twitter.
You know?
Yeah.
Twitter.com, same domain. So yeah, that would cause a lot of uproar. It's just a brand starting out now. We'll see how that goes. But in most cases, nah.
But yeah, like I was saying, they're saying one of the reasons for the sale is because being a registrar doesn't make as much money. It's not like a high ticket or even a low ticket. They were basically just putting in money into it, kind of seeing how it would flow, and it doesn't really go with their their long game per se, as much as it would go with the long game of a Squarespace or a website builder, because it makes it more vertically integrated. And they were going to do like an IPO coming up pretty soon here. So they just got out of beta last year, and they've been in beta form since 2014 when they opened. So a lot of people didn't realize that, but that goes along with our book and lessons that we teach on Launch Like a Pro.
So they was in beta almost 10 years?
Yeah.
Wow. But that makes sense as far as the acquisition and preparing for the IPO, which boosts the eval, the evaluation of the company, which boosts the price that they can go public at, which boosts the value of the potential value of the shares. Yeah. So acquisitions is, like you said, that's exactly what we teach in our Buy, Build, Sell, Repeat program, in our Buy, Build, Sell, Repeat book of why acquisition matters, how it affects the your business eval, how it affects it long term. And clearly they were making a long-term play. They did almost 10 years of testing, and in their beta phase made an acquisition, or right at the end of their beta phase made an acquisition for a company as they prepare to go public. So kudos to them.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into our next segment, which is Straight Facts. Straight Facts. 72% of online population in the United States over the age of 29 now use Facebook. This number jumps to 82% for internet users ages 18 to 29. In the U.S., if your business isn't on Facebook, that means your business doesn't really exist. So for our super social media, like, I wouldn't even call her a guru. She's like I don't want to say God.
Enthusiast.
Goat. Oh. She's like a goaticus.
Nah.
Okay, we'll do enthusiast. Jeez.
I don't. That's a goat having a baby.
A goaticus?
Listen, I never heard that before, so I couldn't tell you.
That's what I feel like. That's what it would be.
How you know?
I don't know, but that's what I think. That's what I assume that it sounds like.
Nick, how would you advise somebody not starting a business, but has a business that doesn't have a Facebook? How would you advise them to get on Facebook? Like, what would be their best bet?
To get on Facebook. There's no other way to say it. Every time, I'm going to say this every time, that every single platform has its own following. So just because Instagram is up doesn't mean everybody's on Instagram. You know, not everybody messes with Instagram. Not everybody messes with Facebook, Twitter, everything. You know, so you need you need to build your audience on each platform, because those are just going to give you a new reach to new clientele, and you just have to have it. It's something you have to have. I mean, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but you will miss out on potentially having someone who could buy from you, support your business, whatever the case may be. Every platform has their own audience. So it's like, really, if you do have a business, you just need to put yourself out there on every single platform if you want to get known. Well known. What if you're going viral on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time, but you don't even have a Facebook to log on to? You know, somebody done took your video, now they're benefiting. And honestly, that's happened to me, where I had a video go viral that was my video, and somebody just took it and put it on YouTube, and it hit millions. And I was like, dang, I should have put that video on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, pissed, and it's me, it's my video. Like, so yeah, you don't want to have that problem. Put the videos up yourself, get you a Facebook account. Even if you don't use Facebook, figure it out. It's probably one of the most basic, easiest platforms to figure out. Just do it. Mogul?
He walking Shane out.
Oh, okay.
So it's still on you, so you got to keep talking.
Oh, yes, well, get all the platforms.
All right. So when it comes to like Facebook, based on the Facebook platform, because you said they all have their following, as well as like their own thing that's special for. What are some things that you've noticed when it comes to Facebook that are have been working, are working, and maybe even some things that you see working in the future?
One thing that's really working on Facebook is Reels. So like, you might have a video on Instagram that doesn't do many numbers on IG, but if you put that same video on Facebook, all of a sudden it's viral. Like we've seen that with Jake's video.
Absolutely.
You know, where we're like, dang, we're doing big numbers on Facebook and we're getting a great response. People are sharing. The very unique thing about Facebook is mostly your families and friends. It was designed for school, you know, so like everybody's on there your mom, your dad, everybody who went to college is on there. So you might as well go ahead and use it, because to me, that's the friendliest platform, like where people are willing to share because they know you, you know, and to me, that's the easiest way to get it out. Hit up your friend. Hey, all you have to do is share. You don't have to buy nothing from me. You just share it, you know, and it shouldn't be that difficult, even though it is sometimes, but for the most part, Facebook is going to be the app to start with. I think if anybody's going to start something, like Facebook is a good starting point.
Yeah, I agree. Just because even how things go viral on platforms are different. When it comes to Instagram, things go viral on posts from people reposting it, so downloading and resharing it. But a more common way is when you have like a reel or something on Instagram, people are sharing it to their store. They're sharing it to one of their friends or a few friends DM. You all probably have people that you send memes to or videos to or inspiration to through the DM on Instagram, right? And you receive them as well. So from that aspect, but when it goes to your DM, that's a private kind of situation. On Facebook, it's a much easier to share a video back into your timeline, which allows for virality to come faster and to become and to come more gainfully, impactfully, so that just because of how the platform is built, you can like, comment, and share a video. And when you comment on it, it pops up in your friend's timeline. When you like it, it pops up. When you share it, it pops up in your timeline and wherever you have those settings. But it allows for the capability of sharing because it's built off friends. You like to share stuff with your friends. You like to show them things that you're doing, and it's built off of that. And with every platform, there's a different psychology in how it was being built, and the attention for it being built, and the reason for, and how people are meant to engage with it. And it's playing off the strengths of the platform and understanding the psychology of the platform, and then leveraging that in order to distribute your content. Because these are just distribution channels. These are just channels that you can use to acquire, make acquisitions through these channels, but they're just channels, right? And you have to utilize these channels in the way that they're meant to be utilized. No different than if you're driving on 75 or 30. If you're driving on 30 going to Houston, that thing open up to 75 miles an hour out here in Texas. But you driving on a street that like Northwest Highway, you're looking at like 35, 45 miles an hour. They're both streets. You drive on them both, but they go different places, and there are different speed limits. There's different rules, of different psychology, and different places to go on that. But it still could take you places. Right. When it comes to the platforms of social media, is understanding why these platforms created, how do you engage these platforms, and then strategizing for your content to distribute on these platforms based on the psychology of these platforms. So, which is why, like what you said, you might have something that's working on Instagram and it not work on YouTube, or something that working on Instagram and not work on Facebook, or doesn't work on Instagram and works on Facebook, because of the psychology of the platform, because of the type of people who are on the platform, the demographic of those people, the interests of those people, what they normally engage in, the type of content that they typically see on that platform is going to determine the virality and how much people share it on each platform. So it's absolutely imperative to go off what Nick was saying, is getting on these platforms. Just get on these platforms, even if you're not heavy on them. Just having the opportunity for, if something does go viral or people just start engaging, they have some type of way to touch your brand, touch your business on that platform. Because they're on that platform, they don't necessarily want to get off on there. When you go on Facebook, you ain't trying to necessarily click on links to go to the website. If you do, you ain't spending too much time. You're going right back over to the platform to keep scrolling. Having that in mind and having that understanding is imperative to building on any of these platforms.
Yeah, and consider the fake accounts too. Like, there is going to be somebody who realizes that you have a business, and they're going to go, just like a domain name, and steal it. And then maybe put your picture up, or if they even do, they might just want the name, waiting on you to hit them up so they could say, hey, I'll sell you this page for $5,000. I already built it up for you. You know what I mean? So you definitely don't want those problems. Just go and get your name, even if you're not going to use it.
Factory. What you got, Mogul?
So I have something to say about Facebook that's kind of going along with what you guys were saying. Country Wayne, right? He said himself that Facebook is where he made all of his real deep fan base because people on Facebook literally, it's not how hard it is for somebody to literally block. Not hard, but most people not going to block you on Facebook. They're not going to remove you as friends, unfriend you on Facebook. It takes a minute for somebody to do that. So once somebody follows you or likes a page, that liking the page thing is different too. Because I don't know how many pages I don't like, and I'm not even in any type of way invested in these pages, but I still just won't unlike them. But those people typically will stay for the long run, and then if they do share it, they have at least a solid base of like 1,000 plus people that are going to be interacting with them that will see and or like. And these people are typically very similar to them as well. So I think getting on Facebook as a business or a creator, a content creator in general, is a huge thing because again, those are the loyal customers, those are the loyal fan base, that's the loyal patrons. Because those are the people that are usually loyal. They're not as finicky as a Twitter where it's just words, next. It's not as finicky as an Instagram where the algorithm not even, the same thing with Facebook now, but the algorithm's all bunched. I see stuff from people that posted like 2-3 days ago, and I'm like, dang, I didn't see that 2-3 days ago when I was looking on here. But, I think Facebook is a very important part of business as well as other social medias in general. We're going to go into our next segment, which is going to be our Smash or Pass or Would You Rather. Today we're going to do
Smitty Smash.
We're going to do a Would You Rather, and this one is still in the vein of our BBSR in a way. It's would you rather lead a successful startup that gets acquired by a large corporation, allowing you to cash out with a substantial profit, but potentially lose some control over the direction of the company? Or would you rather build a thriving independent business from the ground up, maintaining full control and decision-making power, even if it takes longer to achieve the same financial success as the acquisition?
I think, first, great question, bro. I think that it's important to understand kind of what that business means to you, and to have a healthy mix of both, because like we teach, the first business that you create is not necessarily, in most cases, going to be that business that sets your entire family financially free. It's going to be a cash machine that continues to feed your other ideas and eventually get you to that real passion product, passion business that has those products that you truly believe in. So in some cases, depending on the business, depending on how you feel about the business, and also depending on the opportunity and the deals that are presented, is going to determine that. So I can't really say that this an either or. So I'm a spash. I'm a spash, whatever you want to call it, because it's going to be genuinely depending on the business, your skill set, your network, your resources in that business to be able to operate it, to be able to scale it, and what if you're looking to go big with it, or if it's something that you really love doing and want to continue doing and operating. Because in different aspects of business, there are business that we have that we're looking to build long term, and there are business that we have that we acquired and we're looking to exit from, and there's business that we built and we're looking to exit from. But all of them play a different role in the total makeup of the entire business structure we have. We have different associations and feelings about the business, as well as identifying different trends in the market for now, what they were last year, 2 years ago, what they are now, what they're going to be next year, in 2 years, and 5 years. Being able to look at the data across the plane and determine what those trends are, or what they're likely to be, and then make decisions on what businesses are meant to be kept, when businesses are meant to be exited from. So it's kind of a mix of both. I can't say just in general that you should, or I would rather go one way or the other, because it's really going to be dependent on the business, the skill set, and the opportunity that presents itself when it comes to the exit or potential exit.
So Nick, I'm going to ask your questions a tad bit different because I want to get a different type of response that's based off of your niche. Okay. So would you rather buy a social media account that is like, let's say, a meme page or whatever that has the following, has the traction, has the engagement that you can tell is a real engagement, not just bought engagement, for your business and or just your content creator page? Or would you rather take the time to actually build that page out on your own, know that you've made the content from day 1 to day 3, 4, and 5, that you've done the work to make it a big platform? Or again, would you rather just buy one that's already big, like, let's say, I'm not even gonna say Say Cheese, like a Black Love whatever page, like the meme pages like that? Would you rather buy one or would you rather create one?
I'm gonna say create one, and for a couple of reasons. One, it's gonna be more fulfilling when you do that, because when you get to build yours and it starts going off just how you want it to, it's just a different feeling. You can just appreciate it a little bit more. You don't feel like you cheated the system. And then you treat it a little more with care. You love it. It's your baby, and you'll do anything for it. You know what I mean? So I would choose that first and foremost. The other reason is because when you have these platforms that have built audiences for a certain reason, you know what I mean, and you go and switch it up, you start losing followers regardless. They're not just going to stick around because they're there. You know what I mean? They're probably following that meme page because it's a meme page and that's what they followed for. So people do it all the time where they sell it and it looks like it's just the same as buying followers, whether they're real or not. What you're not going to get is the engagement. You're not going to get people who support you for real. You're not going to get everything that you need to make a sustainable business online. So instead of cheating the system and buying numbers, literally, like if those numbers don't translate to dollars, it's really not worth anything. So you're better off just building your own fan base and doing it from scratch.
Nice. So I want to ask Iggy, can you tell us about Backend.io real quick?
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know about Backend.io, Backend.io is a technology which is an all-inclusive marketing and automation system. So what I mean by this is great for the business that just getting started, the business that's been going for a while, or the larger business who has a lot of stuff in place, simply because of everything being included in one. And I come from I built my first and created my first online course in 2014. This world is not new to me, and I was teaching on a funnel platform then. So Backend.io allows you to do funnels, build your website, have your e-commerce store, set up your booking appointments, have your CRM, have your one-click upsells, have your abandoned cart, have your ability to sell your digital products, physical products, membership platforms, subscriptions, all inclusive in one platform. And I'm sure that there's something I forgot, but I hit the main things. But Backend.io is what we literally have all of our websites on, all of our funnels on. And for us, it's been able to help us generate millions of dollars in sales from products, both physical and digital, memberships, booking appointments that's allowed us to close millions of dollars in sales over the past several years. But it's literally ideal for the entrepreneur who doesn't know exactly how to start up or where they start. Because when you're dealing with these platforms, like I said, having the experience, having them all in one and being able to get it for as little as $97 a month on a monthly basis, and get all that in one place, they're paying for all of that. Before, I was looking at upwards of $600 to $800 a month to be able to have technology that I was able to utilize for all that, for my booking, for my funnels, for my website, for my training to be housed, for my membership, for my e-commerce store. They were all separate. Now I'm able to put all of them in one platform, keep up and manage everything in one place, which is extremely important. And it's super, 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 super simple. You don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be somebody special. It has AI integrated to help you create the best converting landing pages and funnels and websites and emails. All of that is integrated and built in one single platform. Backend.io, all-in-one inclusive marketing and automation system for the small business, the micro business, and those businesses who have been around for a while and looking to scale and really get things in one place so that your team can manage it better. Because you got all these passwords, you got all the different platforms, you got to look at different metrics and data, and then try to figure out how to combine them together and what data makes sense with this data. But having it all in one place, being able to tag customers that opt in through a certain funnel, send them an email from the funnel, or tag them because they made a booking and recommend a certain product to them, all in one platform allows you to change the game and really be able to scale up. And if you have an e-commerce store, in order to really optimize, you need a funnel. So in most cases, that's 2 different platforms. We have it all in one. We have the ability for you to be able to start with a 14-day free trial. You go to backend.io right now, register for your 14-day free trial. Go ahead, test it out, get in there, move around, see how much you love it, see how much it makes sense to you, and being able to transfer your business to one place that can allow you to move forward. Backend.io.
Nice.
You did.
We're going to go into our back end fail of the week.
Foodie fail.
So,
who did it?
the Blind Side subject, the movie Blind Side, the subject of the movie, Michael Orr alleges he was never adopted.
You know, this is so crazy.
Why?
Bro, this is so crazy. Go ahead.
So, Michael Orr, the subject of the movie Blind Side, alleges that he was never adopted, but by the family in the movie The Tuleys. He said that he was tricked into signing a legal document that made them his conservator when he was 18 years old. He said that they just represented him as an adopted family and told him that he was a part of their adopted family, but he just found out about 6 months ago that he was never adopted by them. And he said he's embarrassed and ashamed and shameful of not knowing this for years. Because if you guys remember, this movie came out about almost 20 years ago. So this had to be a long-standing lie in his life. He's saying that the family has made millions off of his name and likeness, that he has not made anything off of that from them. They were just out there, out and about with a little/big black boy for years with no paperwork, telling people that they adopted him. And I'm wondering how they walked around like that. Like, where was his family? Like, how no one thought to say, where's the paperwork on this? For 20 plus years, there's no paperwork on this. You got this big old black boys around you and the whole white family. Like, there's no one thought to say, why he here? Where's his family at?
No, for real.
Like,
no, for real. Like, why? Where? What? No question asked. It's the assumption that, oh yeah, they did it right.
Yeah.
Because of the time period in which it was in, and think like, it's crazy because I had heard his name like a couple times in the past, but didn't truly know who he was. And yesterday, an article was shared into a group chat that I have. And then my daughter's mom actually met him and ran into him just yesterday at a book signing in Mississippi.
Alignment.
And she went and she didn't go. She went there to pick up a book for our daughter for school. And there was like, guards and police. And she's like, what's going on? And they told her who it was. They were like, were you here for the signing? She was like, no, who? Like, who is it? Told him who it was. She was like, oh, and her dad went to Ole Miss, graduated from Ole Miss, and was on the administrative staff at Alabama. And they Ole Miss and Alabama fans. So she was telling about, she was excited. And the fact that, Sandra Bullock was in the movie, played, I think, his mom. It was a really big situation. The fact that they had no real paperwork on him. And based off what he's saying, he's alleging that he didn't know anything about the documentation of him signing away. He don't remember it. He remembers some papers, but nobody really told him what it was. So it was a whole finesse game. It was a whole, bait and switch. It was a whole poopty-loopty scoopty whoop, whatever Kanye said, right? So, I got the same question you got, Mogul. Like, how did no one know that this is what was going on and what wasn't going on? And that brings me to understanding that there is no possible way that there was no knowledge of that not being real, because anytime you sign in paperwork for a minor, you have to prove guardianship, or you're supposed to. Because how if I just walk in with a child and say that I own them and don't prove any guardianship, like what country are we living in? So I won't even say it's a unique story, but it's an absolutely crazy story for a child to be taking advantage of like that. But I can say that he is finding a way to monetize the attention in the conversation currently, even though there's a lot of money he's owed based on what was stolen from him, because his likeness, his identity, his life story was stolen from him and monetized. So he's doing what he can now to kind of rebuild that. But one of the things that stuck out to me that she said when she met him, she was like, in the movie they portrayed him to be like not all there and kind of slow,
big and slow.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's not him at all.
Wow.
So you have a conversation with him, you can tell he's very intelligent. You can tell he's very confident. You can tell in the way that he speaks and his tone, in the vocabulary that he uses, that he's not some just slow pushover. He is a very intelligent. But the way they portrayed him in the movie made it seem like that he wasn't all there. And that may be kind of a reason why nobody really questioned him, because it was like, oh, they doing what's right for him. So it's a pretty fucked up story. Or just, sorry YouTube, but it's a pretty messed up story. And for that to be possible, it just makes you sit and think, like, how many other cases of this are happening? Maybe not even on the same scale, being able to, have the Sandra Bullock movie life story type of deal. But how many situations are...
My brother didn't know he was adopted. I mean, two of us went up for adoption. I was one of them. I just found my biological family. But when I found my little brother, he didn't even know he was half Mexican.
Wow.
His parents never told him. So it's definitely a thing. Like, people don't share information, and this has been going on for some time. We're in our 30s. You know what I mean? So I found my biological family 5 years ago, and my brother had no idea. He was like, what? I got a sister? I got siblings?
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't even know.
But in that case, I'm curious, like, what was in place for them to be like, yeah, I adopted you, but didn't? Like, what happened? Where are the biologicals in the situation? Where are the attorneys? There's
money
CPS?
involved.
Where are these people?
Dependents on taxes, that's a thing. People use people all the time. I have your social now. You can take credit card out. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. Like, people are sick.
That's crazy. And they went all the way with, listen, if you're gonna fake adoption, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Take it all the way.
That's insane.
No, not really, but you know what I'm saying. I say that because my mama always told me, if you're gonna do something, do it all the way. Don't half-ass it. No matter what it is. If you're gonna be that, be that. And they was that all the way.
Yeah,
it's messed up, truly is. And I really don't have an understanding for like how it was able to happen, especially all these years, aside from relationships, privilege, things of that nature. But that's all what they call speculation, alleged.
So
what we got, Mogul?
Yeah, that altogether it messes with me. I'm like, I just don't understand, because like then he's a 6'5", 300-pound black boy that y'all just walking around with randomly. It for years at that. It was years that he was walking around with him allegedly. But we're gonna go into our last portion of the show.
Last.
So this one is for you. It's what would you do?
You.
So I say you are vegan-ish, right?
Number one.
Vegan-ish.
No, I never was a vegan, bro. I was plant-based.
Plant-based-ish?
Yeah. I don't subscribe to the whole vegan lifestyle, because I'm gonna wear leather.
Right.
I still eat honey. You know what I'm saying? I never stop. So that whole like, I wasn't gonna come and throw paint on your fur or nothing like that. That's a whole different thing.
Is there cotton in these pants?
I don't know. I didn't look at the tag. I just bought them. So I didn't subscribe to that. That's a little bit much, but I did consume plant-based. I was on a plant-based diet.
Let's go.
So you're plant-based-ish.
Ish.
What would you do if you ordered room service for a vegan burger and they bring you the most juiciest, most flavorful burger, and you realize it's animal?
Ooh, but
you already start eating it.
ooh, nah, he wouldn't eat it.
this is a very disappointing like feeling because this is not something that hasn't happened.
Right.
Like I haven't eaten meat in almost a decade. Like no chicken, no beef, no bacon, no swan, duck, goose, none of that. I was on a plant-based diet, and if you got to give it a name now, it's more pescatarian. Eat fish, seafood, and then the cheese and the like sour cream and eggs every now and then. And I'm working to go back plant-based, but generally, like in how far I'm removed from eating meat, in that first bite I can tell that with the texture of it and the flavor of it, it's a difference. Yeah. And so in that, there was no way that I was going to get through all of that. To like the juiciness, the smell of it would bother me. So it's a rare occasion that I'm going to eat half of. But let's just say I was at a point where I was inebriated enough to not recognize my taste bud sixes that it's giving me immediately, and I made it halfway through. Oh, I'm going slap off.
Right.
I'm going slap off. And, you know, I'm going to have an attitude with my first bite, but the fact that I made it halfway through, I'm going slap off. They're going to have to credit, especially like depending on where I am, they're going to have to credit me with my meal, probably give me a gift card, and hope I don't go on social media to talk about how they don't care about plant-based people and they will just serve you anything, and whatever comes out their kitchen, they do not have a quality assurance process to make sure that the quality of the food coming out is to order, to be able to make some type of mistake like that. Because what if the burger came with mushrooms, asked for no mushrooms, I'm allergic to mushrooms, and I started eating it? Because that's the same type of mistake. So that's not understanding and not having the quality assurance processes in place for somebody who's plant-based, knowing that you serve things that aren't plant-based. That is negligent. Yeah. To say the least. Yeah. Because again, if I had an allergy and I had consumed it, and it was a allergy that could cause me to asphyxiate or squeeze up, stop breathing, then what? That's a whole nother situation. So that quality, so the quality assurance of what comes out of the kitchen is absolutely important. So I would go slap off, and I would demand any and everything. I'm going go Keisha, not Karen, on all of them. And I'm going to cause an issue. And depending on how they handle that issue or they handle that feedback from me will determine whether I went to social media. And if I go to social media with it, listen, I understand exactly what it's going to take to make it go viral. And they don't want that. Nope, they don't want that.
Funny thing is, this just happened to Hallie and Chloe Bailey. Oh. Literally just happened. That was actually going to be our back and fail of the week. But I think the Michael Orr story was a little more of a fail.
Yeah.
So, Nick, this one's for you, off the top of the dome.
Okay.
So, you are a TikTok, superstar, like a phenomenon, right?
Number one.
What would you do if tomorrow you woke up and your TikTok was gone?
Oh, well. I'm going back to YouTube. Well, not back. I'm still back. That's why you stay active on every single platform, and I have been telling y'all this from the get-go. TikTok is not a U.S. app. Mm-hmm. So, build it as much as you want. Utilize it to funnel people outside of the app. And they ain't going to like that I'm saying this. But focus on YouTube.
She love y'all TikTok, but she ain't dependent on y'all TikTok.
Hello. No, I mean, it could, that's a good possibility that one day we wake up and TikTok's gone. And then what? If you're reliant on them, I love TikTok. You know what I mean? I just found out that you can make up really a lot of money on live. So guess what I'm doing now? Going on live. You know what I mean? It just makes sense, but you do have to prepare and not be dependent on anybody's app or the internet in general. You know what I mean? The internet is great. I love it. But what if we don't have internet one day? What are we all going to do? You know what I mean? So you got to figure it out. Make sure you're building up all the platforms. Don't rely on just one.
Wise words from a social media genius.
Goat.
So we're gonna end our show today. I'm gonna say thank you guys for joining
great.
It was a nice little 50-minute boom right there. I like that.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
Make sure you guys again, if you have not started following us, not just on our private personal pages, but follow the company page so you can understand the things that are going on and stay abreast of all of our updates, our changes, our coming classes, courses, boot camps that you can participate in and sign up and register for. Make sure that you get there before everybody else, because we do have limited seating and spots in all of them. Because we make sure the people that are going to be a part of our boot camps and our classes and our courses and our trainings understand that we're doing this for free, and they are committed to it like we are committed to it. So make sure you follow us on our Instagram. Bizco is BIZCO capital. Real simple, real easy. It's real simple, real easy.
I knew that was it. I was waiting for more. Like, what's the rest?
Yeah.
Bizco capital. And if you want to see us on our website, it's Bizco, www.bizcocapital.co. It's not com, it's co. It messed me up the first time I tried to, so I won't fault you guys for putting the co in, but just put co. It works.
You dig.
And we're out.
If you're watching right now, go ahead and share this with your grandmama, your auntie, your cousins, your little homie, your big homie, and the person that you don't like, but you know they need this too. Let's go. See y'all next week. Same time, same place, right here.
Peace.
Hopefully, Dr.
They got it, but let's buy some land and build a family. That's a grown-up flex. And see a black man winning and get so upset. This is generational, inspirational, integrative though. On the rise vertically, working like I ain't made it though.